Welcome back to the association. I'm Roz Goldenwood alongside our analyst Trevor Lane. What a night. What a night. Ugh, a game seven where two terrific teams went head to head in a battle. Nothing but respect for the OKC Thunder and nothing but congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs who head to the NBA Finals for the first time since 2014. It's been 12 years and they're going to take on the New York Knicks. So, Trevor, let's look at that matchup. These Knicks, by the way, have been waiting and watching who's going to come out and play them. They've swept two series in a row. I mean, how much do you feel like rest and fatigue may play a factor in this series?
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, Roz, you know what this means? This means we get to party like it's 1999. That's the last time these two teams faced off in the finals. Maybe we can skip the Y2K stuff this year, but this is a great matchup. I do think fatigue is going to matter. You look at this Knicks team, and they've played back-to-back opponents already that were coming off of 7-game series, and it was a factor when they took out the 76ers and took out the Cavs. So is there going to be a fatigue factor here with the San Antonio Spurs? And then is there going to be a rust factor for a Knicks team that's going to have a long layoff before they're going to start the NBA Finals? But I can't wait for this series. The Knicks are arguably playing the best basketball of the playoffs right now. They've won, I believe it's now 10 straight. They've won. Their offense is clicking on another level, and the San Antonio defense, you have to imagine, is going to be up to the task. I think we've got a great series on our hands. I can't wait to see which direction this one goes. The ins and outs, the chess match. This is going to be a phenomenal series. And I think New York is ready for it. San Antonio is ready for it. I am beyond ready for it. Let's go. We just had a great game 7. Bring me more NBA basketball. I'm so fired up.
Absolutely. These two teams split in the regular season 1-1. Trevor, when you're looking at these two teams, the Spurs and the Knicks, what are the things that excite you about this matchup?
I'm really curious to see, how does Jalen Brunson do against the defense that the Spurs can offer? They're certainly going to do everything they can to try to slow him down, but he's also shown that no matter what defense you throw at him, he can find ways to overcome it. So I'm curious to see what those active guard defenders, Steph Castle, De'Aaron Fox, the young Dylan Harper getting into the mix, among others, what can Jalen Brunson do against them? What's the battle going to look like between Karl Anthony Towns and Victor Wembanyama? Certainly you expect Wemby to win that battle, but can Cat at least come close? Can he come anywhere close to the production in terms of rebounding and points of Wemby? What's that ultimately going to look like in the paint? What about Mitch Robinson playing with perhaps a broken finger? Is he going to be able to get out there and be the absolute dominant presence on the boards for New York? I'm really excited to see that matchup in the paint as well. So I think there's a lot of really intricate things going on here. And then for the Spurs, it's all about, can you run things through Wemby as you've been throughout the season, and then have players alongside of him really step up? These young guys continue to step up in the big moments, and can they, like they did tonight, win in the margins? How much do they have left in the tank after going 7 games against OKC, dethroning the defending champs? They're going to have to dig deep if they're going to go take down a very talented Knicks side.
Absolutely. There's so many storylines. There's so much star power. It's Brunson. It's Wembanyama. You mentioned Karl Anthony Towns, who has been terrific in this Knicks run. You know, even on the coaching side, it's an interesting battle of two really strong coaches. One is a longtime NBA, steward of the game in Mike Brown. And then you've got Mitch Johnson on the other side, young, up and coming, much like his team. For me, I tend to go for the headlines, the drama of it all. Look, there's been always that question of who is the face of the league. There's no bigger stage in the NBA Finals, and Victor Wembanyama has a chance to establish himself as the future of this league, and that it is his time. There's no bigger stage, in my opinion, than, of course, I'm from New York, than Madison Square Garden. I do think stars are made there, and I think it's going to be cinema. I think the fans in New York are going to be so intense and excited, so fun to see them in the streets. And I'm sure the fans in San Antonio, maybe they'll hit what's that waterway they have there, the Riverwalk or something?
The Riverwalk,
It's going to be the Riverwalk. Look, each city has their own type of fandom, but This is everything any basketball fan could have asked for. We've got a great NBA Finals. Game 1 is Wednesday, June 3rd at 8:30 p.m. on ABC. For right now, we just want to thank you for rocking with us all night. We took it through Game 7, pregame and postgame on the association. We had all the breakdown analysis and interviews. Trevor, it has been a pleasure. And
Roz,
to all
thank you
of
so much.
Absolutely. And all of you at home watching, thank you so much for rocking with us. I'm Roz Goldenwood, and that'll do it for the association. We'll catch you next time.
Playing these guys around Christmas time a few times, expectations. We've played in 3 playoff series without Victor, without Fox, multiple games. I don't know who has as much experience as we do this year in the season of 2025-2026.
Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
First question, just Wemby's emotions afterwards. And second question, championing, just his story, what he's been able to do, how big a boost he was in this game, and has been for you guys.
Yeah, he has such a vision, in my opinion, of who he wants to be as a person and as a player. And the commitment and investment that he puts into that vision is nothing like I've ever seen before. And I think we've seen a few moments where his emotions probably, in my opinion, again, meet all the things that he's putting into for these achievements and accomplishments and milestones and goals of his. In terms of championing his cause and his journey, I thought in the first half, he floated a little too much at times, and we needed him to be demonstrative. We needed him to play with strength. We needed him to bring his will more than his talent. And it's hard for these young guys who have never been in this spot, so there is the experience thing, and I understand that they're learning on the fly what it takes. But I think the second half, we doubled down and invested on leaning into willing our plays to execution and to completion and not our talent. And when we did that appropriately, we still had enough talent when needed to make the appropriate plays.
Coach,
Julian? I'm sorry, what was the question about Julian?
Just how big of a boost has he?
Oh, I didn't hear you say Julian, I'm sorry. Julian has been phenomenal. He's had games where he's missed shots and he's had double-digit rebounds. His spacing causes gravity whether he makes shots or not. And at times when we haven't scored, he's made huge shots. He's been an absolute unsung hero because some of those other guys have the basketball in their hands more, and they're probably a part of maybe more highlights other than making threes. And Julian's been an integral part of our team defense, team rebounding, and all that leads to us playing fast, which is our best version of our offense. And when he's the recipient of it, he usually makes it, but he's been absolutely phenomenal.
Coach, you had 7 guys in double figures tonight. Even Luke Cornett had like the 6 biggest minutes of his career. What was it like for you as a coach to see the contributions up and down the roster, and how much pride does that fill you with as a coach to see the total team effort tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest play of the game might have been Luke Cornett's block. So when you start peeling back the layers of how many minutes this guy or what the box score did, obviously we had a lot of guys step up and make shots tonight, which we needed with the variety of people who had double-digit points. But it was a complete team effort, and we had huge moments. Keldon Johnson made 2 monster threes. The rebounding was big. The first half, we were giving way too many extra opportunities on the glass when we actually did a decent job defensively. And it's been the same thing all year. It's different people's nights and different people's moments at different times, and they've all embraced that.
Mitch, Victor's relationship to pressure is something I think we're all learning about in these moments. You've talked about how he steps into it and almost in a way that you've never quite experienced. How did you see him handle the pressure of the foul trouble late in the game tonight? And particularly, how did that moment where he goes out, Luke comes in and basically plays like Victor for a couple possessions to save the game, and then how did Victor handle it from there?
Yeah, I think, in a way, it probably saved me from myself in terms of he probably needed a break. I probably wouldn't have given him one if I didn't have to because of the fouls. And obviously, playing Monday morning quarterback, Luke was awesome, so it feels good now. But I thought he was great the last few minutes of being disciplined and still being able to be aggressive defensively and being a deterrent without worrying about fouling out. And I thought he did a great job the whole night of continuing to adjust and raise his level in terms of your question about the pressure in the moment. And I thought he got stronger and more demonstrative as the game went on.
And then to win a 7-game series, you have to dig in and get something that you don't even know is there as a team. How does Luke almost illustrate that in how much he struggled early in the series and then really like dominated in these last couple games? How did you guys learn about the type of character you have deep down inside in these moments?
Yeah, it's unfair to Luke because his minutes basically are non-Victor minutes, so he gets the mutually exclusive tag a lot of times, and he's been phenomenal in some games, and that's a huge moment for us because obviously that's where teams a lot of times try to take advantage. And so, again, we've had moments all game and series where Dylan Harper's having big rebounds and guys are stepping up and making big plays to complete possessions, whether that's knocking down shots, getting offensive rebounds, or finishing with rebounds. And it's just been fun to watch and trying to help him out and be in the trenches with him.